Nerdy sports fan here. We're talking about the Chiefs. Now, free agency's been kind of weird for them. They've had very talented players that are gone now. Justin Houston, Ford on the defensive front. That's kind of what happens when one offsides penalty that you have to your name in the playoffs ruined the championship game, so I kind of see it. They cut Eric Berry, finally. They lose a corner, and not a lot going on their offensive side. Obviously, they got rid of Hunt this past season, so that was the big loss for them already. But yeah, their defensive side is getting redone. There's some talent there. Houston and Ford, Berry, they're all very, very talented players, but all of them were let go for various reasons. A lot of it financial, but really they needed to revamp the defense. They lost last year. Games that they shouldn't have necessarily lost, and a lot of it can be attributed to their defense. Their offense was fantastic. They could score on anybody, very obviously. But yeah, the defense let them down in some key positions, and that's what they're going to focus on. This coming draft is a very good draft to do that with. So they were able to dump off some defensive talent, and they signed Tyrann Mathieu. Now, that Honey Badger, fantastic in the defensive secondary. He's young, he's healthy, he's not Eric Berry. That's the big play here. Shore up the defensive secondary, which was obviously their problem. Losing a cornerback doesn't really mean much when your defensive secondary was the worst part of your team. So yeah, I expect maybe some depth signings going forward, but this was really about who they're getting rid of and what their focus is going forward. You can tell sometimes in free agency what teams are going to be doing in the coming draft. That's exactly what's going on here. They dropped defensive front players. Well, guess what this draft has a hell of a lot of? Defensive front players. So, especially the middle of the defensive line and linebackers, they're going to be readily available in this draft. In through the second round, from all accounts, is where the first round grade defensive talent is. So, high draft picks are at a premium for teams that need defense this year. I expect the Chiefs to make some moves to make as many defensive picks as possible in the early rounds, because that's what they need. If they can get a defense that more consistently stops the other team, they are dangerous. So, I expect the Chiefs to make a few moves for this draft's defensive talent. I expect that to change their scheme even. Whatever they find talent-wise, they're going to do what they have to attack the other team much more effectively than they did last year. People's jobs depend on it at this point. You don't want to waste Patrick Mahomes' talent, and giving him a good defense will get him deep in the playoffs again next season. This one's going to be fun to watch, Kansas City fans. I expect good things. This front office definitely knows what it's doing.